Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. If you've been following the NFL news cycle over the past few weeks, you know that the landscape is shifting in a way that could have massive implications for the Detroit Lions. And today, we're diving deep into a blockbuster move that's sending shockwaves through the league, and more specifically, through the NFC North. That move: the trade of Kayvon Thibodeaux from the New York Giants to the Detroit Lions. Yes, you heard that right. The Lions are making waves again, and this particular move could be one of the most significant of the offseason. Now, for those of you Lions fans who have been paying attention to the NFL, you understand how crucial the edge rush position is in today's game. It's the backbone of a strong defense, especially in an era where pass rushers can make or break a game. The Lions, as many of you know, have been building a formidable defense under the leadership of head coach Dan Campbell and defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. But last season, the team's pass rush was somewhat inconsistent, and they've been desperately looking for that game-changing player to complement Aiden Hutchinson, who's already established himself as one of the premier young pass rushers in the league. The Lions' front office knew that bolstering the edge rush was a priority heading into the 2025 season, particularly because they faced tough divisional opponents like the Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears, and Green Bay Packers, all of whom have been making strategic moves to improve their defenses. And while they did draft some promising players this offseason, such as Ahmed Hassanin, who has shown flashes of potential, it's clear that the team still needed a proven, disruptive force on the edge. Now, let's take a step back and analyze why the trade for Kayvon Thibodeaux makes so much sense for Detroit. For starters, Thibodeaux is only in his third NFL season, but he's already demonstrated flashes of elite pass rushing ability. Over 3 seasons, he's accumulated 126 pressures and 23 sacks, which is impressive considering his age and experience. But what truly makes him an ideal fit for the Lions is his speed-to-power rush style, which perfectly complements Hutchinson's skill set. Imagine those two working side by side, creating chaos for offensive lines week after week. It would be a nightmare for quarterbacks and a nightmare for offensive coordinators trying to scheme around them. Furthermore, Thibodeaux' potential is still largely untapped. Under the mentorship of Dan Campbell and the Lions' defensive scheme, he could reach new heights. Campbell's aggressive, relentless approach to defense is exactly what a young pass rusher like Thibodeaux needs to flourish. And with Hutchinson returning from injury, he had a promising rookie season before battling some setbacks. The Lions are positioning themselves to have one of the most dangerous edge duos in the NFL. This pairing could be a cornerstone for Detroit's defensive identity moving forward. But why would the Giants consider trading Kayvon Thibodeaux? Well, the recent offseason has seen some interesting developments with the Giants' roster. They drafted linebacker Abdul Carter, who has been making noise in training camp, and they already have Brian Burns, a talented pass rusher acquired in a previous move. It's clear that the Giants are reshaping their defensive front and perhaps seeing Thibodeaux as a player they could part with in a strategic rebuild. Reports indicate that Thibodeaux had a bit of a rough start during OTAs, especially after a recent altercation with Jermaine Illuminor and being frustrated over stalled contract negotiations. That frustration might have played a role in the decision to move him, especially given the Giants' current cap situation and their desire to get value in return before the trade deadline. From Detroit's perspective, acquiring Thibodeaux is a win-win scenario. It's not just about filling a positional need, it's about elevating the entire front seven. And let's not forget, the Lions are all about building a resilient, aggressive defense that can dominate in the postseason. Having a player like Thibodeaux, who's still young and hungry, adds a dynamic element to that vision. Plus, with the Lions' recent draft history and their focus on developing young talent, adding Thibodeaux feels like a natural extension of their strategy to build a sustainable contender. Now, some of you might be wondering about the impact on the NFC North. Let's be honest, the Lions have been knocking on the door for a playoff run for a few seasons now, and with the addition of a player like Thibodeaux, they're taking a significant step forward. The NFC North has traditionally been a division where defenses often come at a premium, and this move signals that Detroit is serious about not just competing but dominating. The Vikings, Bears, and Packers all have their own questions, especially on defense, and the Lions are positioning themselves to be the team to beat. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade also signals something about the Lions' mindset. They're not just content with making the playoffs, they want to make a run deep into the postseason and contend for a Super Bowl. Adding a player like Thibodeaux is a statement of intent. It shows that Detroit is willing to make bold moves, invest in young talent, and build a defense that can withstand the best defenses in the league. Of course, we have to consider the potential risks involved in this trade. Thibodeaux's consistency and staying healthy are critical factors. While he's shown flashes of brilliance, he's also had some moments where he's been somewhat inconsistent. But that's typical for a player still in development. With the right coaching and a solid supporting cast, there's every reason to believe that Thibodeaux can reach his full potential in Detroit. And what about the Giants? Well, they're clearly in a rebuild phase, trying to assemble a roster that can compete in the future. Moving Thibodeaux now could be seen as a way to accelerate that process, acquiring draft capital or young players that fit their long-term vision. It also alleviates some of the salary cap pressures and gives them flexibility to pursue other off-season targets. So, what does this mean for the Lions moving forward? It means they've taken a major step towards cementing their status as a true playoff contender. It means that other teams in the NFC North better watch out because Detroit isn't just content to be a middling team anymore. They're positioning themselves as a division powerhouse. And for fans, this is an exciting development. It's a clear message that the Lions are serious about competing at the highest level, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Now, let's talk about the chemistry and how Thibodeaux fits into the Lions' defensive scheme. Dan Campbell is known for his fiery, intense coaching style, and he demands a relentless attitude from his players. Thibodeaux's aggressive pass-rushing style aligns perfectly with that philosophy. He's a player who thrives on attacking the quarterback and creating chaos, and under Campbell's leadership, he could unlock even more of his potential. The Lions' defensive scheme emphasizes versatility and pressure, and Thibodeaux's ability to rush from multiple angles will be a huge asset. Moreover, this move could have ripple effects throughout the league. Opposing offenses will have to account for Thibodeaux and Hutchinson on every snap, which could open up opportunities for other players on Detroit's defense. It also sends a message to other teams: Detroit is not messing around. They're assembling a defense that can match their potent offense and carry the team deep into the playoffs. And speaking of the offense, the Lions have been building around Jared Goff and their talented receiving core, led by Amon-Ra St. Brown. But it's the defense that often determines a team's postseason fate, and now, with Thibodeaux in the fold, Detroit is taking a major step to shore up that side of the ball. The combination of offensive firepower and defensive dominance is exactly what you need to compete for a Super Bowl. You can also look at how this move fits into the broader NFL landscape. Other contenders are also making bold moves, and the NFC is shaping up to be more competitive than ever. The Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys, and others are all loading up, and Detroit's acquisition of Thibodeaux signals they're ready to go toe-to-toe with the best. It's going to be fascinating to see how the season unfolds with these new pieces in place. As we reflect on the history of the Lions, it's incredible to see how far they've come. From long periods of disappointment to now making aggressive moves to build a championship-caliber team, Detroit fans have every reason to be excited. This trade is more than just a transaction, it's a statement of intent. The Lions are not just aiming to make the playoffs, they want to leave a mark, to change the perception of the franchise, and to finally bring that elusive Super Bowl trophy back home. So, to all of you Lions fans out there, keep your eyes on this team. The addition of Kayvon Thibodeaux could be the catalyst for a historic season. Remember, the NFL is a league of moments, and this move might just create a few of those moments that Lions fans will be talking about for years to come. The future is bright, the defense is getting fiercer, and the NFC North better brace itself because Detroit is coming and they're coming hard. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead to the upcoming season, the Lions are poised to take a giant leap forward. Their schedule will be tough, no doubt, but with the added edge rush presence, they can disrupt even the most potent offenses. Fans are already buzzing, and social media is flooded with discussions about how Thibodeaux' arrival could be a game-changer. The coaching staff is excited, the players are motivated, and the fans are dreaming of a deep playoff run that could finally culminate in Super Bowl glory. This trade also raises questions about the NFC North's future. The Packers are rebuilding, the Bears are still trying to find their identity, and the Vikings are in a similar boat, trying to find consistency and competitiveness. For Detroit, this is a chance to finally establish dominance, not just in the division but across the NFC. If they can maximize the talent they have, especially on defense, they could be the team everyone fears come playoff time. And let's not forget the broader implications for the league. Moves like this show that teams are willing to invest in young, high-upside talent, even if it means making bold trades during the offseason. The NFL has always been a league of strategic gambles, and Detroit's willingness to go all in on Thibodeaux demonstrates their commitment to winning now and in the future. This trade could set the tone for the entire NFC, signaling a new era where defense wins championships and aggressive, innovative front offices get rewarded. Of course, there will be critics and skeptics. Some will question whether Thibodeaux can stay healthy, whether he can adapt to Detroit's defensive scheme, or if the Giants truly undervalued him. But for fans who believe in the talent and the potential, this is a move that excites the imagination. It's about seeing a young player with superstar upside donning the Lions' colors and envisioning what he could become with the right environment. In summary, this trade is more than just a transaction. It's a bold statement that signals the Detroit Lions are serious about contending. It's about building a defense that can carry the team deep into the playoffs, about creating a formidable duo on the edge that can terrorize quarterbacks, and about finally giving Detroit fans a team to be proud of every Sunday. The upcoming season promises to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with Thibodeaux now part of the Lions family, the future looks even brighter. So, Lions fans, keep your heads up and your spirits high because this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. And remember, in Detroit, we don't just dream, we make those dreams a reality. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news.